The Great Emu War, 1932, when the birds fought back in November 1932. In the wheat-growing regions of Western Australia, a most unusual military operation began, one that would later be remembered with equal parts disbelief and humour as the Great Emu War. After World War I, the Australian government had encouraged returned soldiers to settle farmland in Western Australia. By the early 1930s, these farmer soldiers were struggling. The Great Depression had driven wheat prices down, and drought had made survival difficult. Then came the emus. Each year, after breeding season, tens of thousands of emus, large, flightless birds capable of running up to 50 kilometers per hour, migrated inland. In 1932, an estimated 20,000 emus descended on farming areas near Campion, Chandler, and Walgoolan. They trampled crops, broke fences, and devoured wheat meant to keep already struggling families alive. Desperate farmers appealed to the government for help. In response, the Minister of Defence, Sir George Pearce, approved an unusual solution: military intervention. The military arrives on November 2, 1932. A small detachment of the Royal Australian Artillery, led by Major G.P.W. Meredith, arrived in the wheat belt. Their arsenal included 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. The plan was simple: thin out the emu population and restore order. Reality proved very different. The first engagement took place near Campion. Soldiers waited for a large group of emus to gather, then opened fire. Almost immediately, the birds scattered in all directions. The machine guns jammed, and the emus, fast, agile, and unpredictable, vanished into the bush. Meredith later remarked that the emus seemed to possess the maneuverability of Zulu warriors, breaking into smaller groups and outrunning the gunfire. Even when birds were hit, many continued running. Tactical failure, further attempts were made over the following days. Soldiers mounted a machine gun on a truck to chase the emus, but the vehicle proved no match for the birds across rough terrain. The emus simply outran it. After nearly a week of operations, the military had fired thousands of rounds with very limited success. Official reports estimated that fewer than 1,000 emus were killed, far short of expectations and nowhere near enough to stop the destruction. Facing ridicule and political pressure, the government officially withdrew the military on December 10, 1932. The emus, largely unharmed, continued their migration. Major Meredith later acknowledged the outcome with dry humour, stating that if Australia ever went to war against emus again, he would prefer them as allies rather than enemies. Aftermath and legacy. Although the war was over, the problem remained. The government later adopted less dramatic but more effective measures, including bounty systems, improved fencing, and better land management. These proved far more successful than machine guns. Today, the Great Emu War stands as one of history's most bizarre conflicts, a reminder that modern weapons do not guarantee victory, especially against nature. The emus never knew they were at war, but by every practical measure, they won. And so, in 1932, in the wide open spaces of Western Australia, the Australian Army met an unexpected opponent, and learned that sometimes the land itself fights back.